Hello, everybody. Welcome to Boxing with TT. Thank you for the likes, the reviews, the new subscribers. I appreciate a whole lot. I hope you guys are having a great day. Hope you guys are having a great weekend. It is after school hours, so if you see my eyes go off the camera, it's just me watching out for my baby bus. Stay prayed up, and let's get into this review. Okay, so this review, part four. I had to actually watch it twice. And when I watched it for the second time, I had to actually write down a lot of stuff because the first time that I watched it, it just seemed like it was all over the place and I couldn't keep up. Okay. So we're going to get into part four. And basically, it's starting off as him serving his time when he got locked up with an art charge. Okay. And when he gets locked up, he has to do 8 months. And it's stated that the conditions in the jail is no place for anyone to live in at all. Point blank period. It's that he is locked up with criminals, actual murderers. Um, and yeah, no. So as he serves the 8 months, he is speaking on doing positive things where he wants to link up with um, Mr. and Mrs. Malcolm X's daughter, and they basically are trying to get him to just go at the route as a positive things. Rebuild for the school systems and things like that. Okay, and then Tupac has to also set a record deal fulfillment, right? So he's still recording All Eyes on Me, and All Eyes on Me is all recorded while he's still locked up. And it stated that the team that he was with actually didn't pay any books on his account or anything. He didn't do anything. Okay, so Snoop talks to Suge, and when he talks to Suge, he tells Suge we need him. Okay, and this is when Pac and Suge get this connection that they get, which is similar to Big Bro, Little Bro type of thing. I'm getting because nobody actually was doing anything for Pac. Of course, mom really couldn't do anything at this point. Mom is homeless. Mom doesn't really have anywhere to go, and should boss her a home instead of getting her a apartment. And then you have to remember that the other family members is not really feeling it because they're like, okay, you were supposed to have been doing this right here, but now you're signing with this guy right here, and they didn't know how it was going to go about. Okay, so some people wanted him to sign with Death Row, and some family members didn't want him to sign with Death Row. Okay, so Pac is now free, and he decides that he wants to um, do a performance for their mama at a Mother's Day brunch. Okay, he does it. It's the first time that mom hears it. It's the first time that Glow hears it performed live, and they melt. Of course, you will melt. Yes, your baby is singing a song to you about you. And this is actually the first time that Pac begins to work with Dre because he is with Death Row. Pac has been trying to work with Dre since he's been in the game, and he couldn't. But now that he is there, he's lit. He's working with Dre. Okay, so now Glow speaks into about the performance of Dear Mama, and Glow is kind of uncomfortable around Suge because the things that Glow was able to do, like not do, but like she's always on the party scene. She says in this documentary, "I am Tupac's groupie." Like if I'm there with his mom as well, and she explains the story of her being in the crowd, doing the old school move, and Pop tells her, "No, it's something. It's a gang." So she's throwing her hands up in the air, and she doesn't even know that she's throwing up gang signs because that's how real that it got with the gang thing. Back in the day, you couldn't wear a blue shirt and blue. It was certain areas that didn't play you wearing certain colors. So you had to be real careful about the things that you would wear and the things that you would do and even things that you would say. Um, so Dre speaks on Dre and Snoop begins to speak about Pac and Suge. Dre kind of wanted out because of the way that it was going. He didn't really, he wasn't really rocking with it no more, and he was stating that it was more like a gang banging situation going on, like a lot of crazy gang banging activity things that was going on. And once again, well, everyone doesn't think of, okay, let's just not get off subject, but let's just shift it real quick, okay? So from what I read and from what I've seen on documentaries, gang banging originally started all because of there was no protection for young people. It was no protection for the black community, okay? So it was basically for protection, all right? This wasn't about making money. It wasn't about fucking bitches. It was just simply based off of protecting their own, okay? And then when the drugs came into the community is what fucked everything up, all right? So the drugs messed up the way that they was actually handling their business. All right. So this goes back to to Dre saying that it was a lot of gang banging activities going on, meaning that if they had meetings or if they even wanted to come inside the studio, they had to walk past all these gang bangers just to get inside. That's just like you and I having to walk into your building or your apartment or your home and it's 1,000 gang bangers or it's 10 gang bangers outside. Like this not what I signed up for, bro. So he was 1 foot already in and 1 foot out when Pop came about, which kind of sucked or whatever. And then they speak about the media pushing the tension on the East Coast and the West Coast. Now we all know that the East Coast and the West Coast, because I had the right notes, y'all. So we all know that the East Coast and the West Coast, Pac lived in both on both sides of the world. Okay, so we're going to get into um, that in a little bit. So we all know that the media didn't care for hip hop. Okay, they looked at hip hop as well, gangster rap as the devil's music. Let's just say that. Let's just keep it a buck. That's basically what it was. Because even right now, if you was to play certain music around Christians, they're gonna look at you like I can't play a Tupac song around my grandmother as we speak. And yes, I am baptized, but I can't play a Christian. I can't play hit them up around my grandmother, or I can't play. I can't. I know how to tap out of my religion beliefs and art. Okay, it's easy for me to do that. I know that I don't get sucked into the music industry. I'm just a fan. Okay, so I can listen to certain people rap, certain people sing, and I'm cool. I won't feel no kind of way. Some people just can't do that. Okay, some people don't know how to tap in and tap out. They believe what they hear, and they believe that that's how they live their life. Okay, so let's go back into Suge helping out Tupac. Suge purchased, from what the documentary reports, this is all through alleged and all documentary. Okay, now I didn't say it. This is all what was stated in the documentary. Yeah, right. So Suge states that he looked at Pac as a little brother. Um, Snoop says that if Suge had a Rolls Royce, Pac had a Rolls Royce. If when he Pac didn't know how to swim, so Suge taught him how to swim. So it was really like putting him underneath his wing to make him comfortable. But I don't know, like build up a trust to suck him in so that he can't leave type of scenario. Y'all think Suge was a narcissist? Like y'all think that Suge like preyed on the fact that he was locked up and nobody wanted to really help him out, so I'll help him. But I don't know. We're gonna go back into that in a minute. Okay. So now Shock G, sorry, rest in peace, Gold. Shock G speaks on the All Eyes on Me intro when he laughs, and he says that laugh is not a natural Tupac laugh. That is a forced laugh. That is him just trying to do his commitment to Suge. And that pain, that laugh that you hear is forced because it's pain behind that laugh. Okay. That's not a genuine, he says it's not a genuine Tupac laugh. That is a painful, forceful laugh right there. This is what Shock G says. Okay. So let's go into um Let's go into where he agrees that Pac music, it bothers his mother. Certain things that Pac said about Miss Safina, it did bother her, but she understood it. Okay, so at 25, we all agree that he has accomplished a lot at the age of only 25. And the filmmaker states that if he was allowed to live to 33, there's no telling what Pac would have done. And this is true because Pac wasn't only just dodging, and he wasn't just doing music, he was an actor. And then he also had a phenomenal book that had came out. It was everything my dad had bought it. The book was about this thing going big, and it was white and black. And I read the book maybe like 5 times until I memorized the book basically. Okay, so Pac had a lot of things going on with him, so I can see why. And then he was putting out songs on an everyday basis. He was just a workaholic. So the film producer states that um, he was always doing something. He never could sit down. And then that Pac gives the film producer an opportunity to to work with America's Most Wanted, because the original film producer stated that he didn't want to give co-credit to Tupac. And Pac was like, all right, well, you can get up on it or whatever the case may be. And he just generally just gave this man that he didn't even know if he knew what he was doing, the filmmaker, an opportunity to work with him. And Snoop goes into stating that um, that's just how he was. He would give opportunities to people, and that was just that. But in the midst of America's Most Wanted, we all know that Snoop was facing his own tragedy. He was facing the murder trial as well. Okay, so but Pac is helping Snoop. Snoop says that he is helping him form his team correctly. He's helping him understand little things as and ins and outs. Okay, so let's go to the Panther movement. Okay, so 13 Panthers was acquitted for the charge that they had, everything that was going on. They was all acquitted. Okay, and now Pac Man speaks, and the Panther 21. You guys can look it up. The Panther 21 pretty much fucked up their mentality, and it also bothered his mom. It bothered Afeni. And then they speak that another former Panther speaks out that addiction um, was the only way to help them get through what they was going through. Okay, um, and they state that Miss Safady is an icon because of the roles that she played behind Black society that no one knows about. She was the one who put a stop to illegal evictions. And then Musa is he's liked the Musa, he's liked, and he does things for the community as well. And then Tupac God Musa is who Afeni begins to date, his stepdad. Okay, and now you have Tupac's godfather Geronimo, and I believe him saying. I believe in America's Most Wanted that he screamed out Geronimo, and I'm like, who? What the heck is Geronimo? Well, he's referencing to his godfather, and he is locked up for. Um, I want to say I don't want to get it wrong. Okay, so I don't know if he's charged for Erda attempts or Erda attacks or terroristic attacks, but I know that a truck place got blown up, and um, they tried to charge him with it. So while Pac is locked up, they're interviewing him, and they ask him about his godfather, and they're asking him, is he a murderer? Okay, and Pac Holly gets offended. You can see it in his eyes that he is not with none of that. And the interviewer was just like, "Well, I'm asking the questions," and he's like, "I understand you're asking the questions, but don't talk for my godfather like that." And in that moment, you can see in his eyes that it affected him because Okay, so not only did his mom get locked up, not only did his stepdad get locked up, but not only is he locked up, but now his godfather is locked up. And these are all four of these different people are serving harsh time. They're trying to get them underneath the pots. Okay, they're not trying to get them to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 years. They're trying to take their lives away from them. Okay, because like I stated in my previous one, they tried to give mom 25. They tried to give pop, I think, 10 to 15. And there's no telling how much he's trying to give Muta because they're trying to say that Muta um, also had a murder charge on him. And now the Godfather they're trying to see has a murder charge on him. Everybody has a murder charge on them. Pac has a SA charge on him. Somebody make it make sense. It's not registering in my brain what the heck is actually going on. Okay, so so now we are getting into where Miss Afeni has to keep moving. She has to keep moving because there is so much pressure that the police are putting on them. So where she can't even walk down the dang on street. She can't keep a job because they keep messing with her. And not only is they not messing with her, they're also messing with her children. Yes, they are now asking her, Pac, and if I'm not mistaken, her name is pronounced Jamaica. If they're not messing with Pac, they're messing with Jamaica. They're not messing with the sister, they're messing with the brother. So now they're asking the kids questions and they're trying to get, they're harassing everybody that's in contact with the Shakur group. Why are you messing with these children? These children don't know what the heck is going on, okay? Um, so they're asked a lot of questions, and then the feds come to their house. Wherever she lived at, it was like she was constantly being targeted, always being harassed, and always being looked on. Like they was trying to make this life a living, trying to make mom's life a living hell. Basically, is what I'm gathering from the documentary. Okay, so now they have to move. They move to Harlem because once again, Pac is from New York. Pac lived in he lives in so many different areas where it's not even freaking funny. He lives in ATL, he lives in Oakland, he lives in New York, he lives in another place. So okay, so now mom moved again, and now in Harlem is where he gets teased a lot because of their names. The sister states that they thought that they was African because of their name. Um, and then Pac will also get into problems because he was nosy. He stood up to people. He stood for people. So if he seen a woman being abused by a man, he would, hey, get your hands off of her. Get your damn hands off of her. Which some people would say that's a stand up thing. And some people would say, hey, mind your business. She was one of the ones that, hey, boy, come over here and come mind your business. Okay. So um, when it stated also that when Pac got in trouble, not only did he receive a behind whooping, but she would make him read. Mom would make him read the New York Times paperwork. She would make him read, and when they would read whatever he read about, she would have him debate it. So she was teaching him how to be smart and wicked with when he spoke to people. And if you want to argue with him, good luck, good luck. And they states that they would go and the guys will bother him, the drug dealers and people like that will bother him, and he'll be like, well, can you spell this and what does this mean? Like he would mess with them mentally. Like they would bother him physically but they couldn't bother him mentally, and he understood that. So he will bother them in a whole different type of way. Okay, so now we're going back into Matula. Matula is one of for Erda, and Miss Afeni is going down to Los Angeles to make sure that, hey, he get what he need to get, and because he didn't do it. This is what's alleged. Okay, so um, the sister alleges that they was poor. It was rats in the house. And he became bitter. He didn't like the fact that he had to eat 3 potatoes and split it between the two, and he couldn't wear certain things and couldn't do certain things because of what was going on. And then it states that they do bring up anxiety and depression and the mental illness, and being that they didn't understand their mental illness, it was all drugs was their escape. which makes sense, okay? Especially back in 1984, okay? Back in the 80s, back in the 70s, the drug world took over, and look at us now, okay? Um, my mom actually had her own personal battle with drugs as well. Rest in peace, mommy. I love you. Just got finished having my own little moment about my mother. But my mom had her own issues with drugs as well, and this all stemmed from her father committing suicide when she was 7 years old, and her mom not being there the way that she would like her mom to be there. So when you can't get what you need at home, or you can't get what you need in general, what do we turn to? Drugs can not only be just cocaine or schnoshane or fentanyl or Mary Jane or nothing like that. A drug is anything. Money can be a drug. Your music can be a drug. Your art is can be a drug. You acting, YouTube, Google, Instagram, anything could be a drug. So don't think that only if you smoke something or you snort something, it's just a drug. No, it's a million and 1,500 things. If you addicted to Hershey's, if you need that Hershey every single day, guess what, sis? Guess what, bro? You're addicted to Hershey's. Hershey's is your drug. Okay? Let's just get it all out the way with, all right? So they compared, so their mental illness, how they escaped from the reality was to go and to get their drugs, okay? Their drug of choice would be crack, cocaine, crack and cocaine, marijuana, or PCP, whatever drug that they can have, okay? So then they go into speaking on why they was always moving, and yeah, they speak on why they was moving, and the number one main the number one reason why they was always moving is because of the police. The police would not give this woman a break. They literally had their foot on her neck. Even if she went to go work for a job or whatever the case may be, their names was put out there as if her name was put out there as if she was this monster, as if she was this villain. And there's nothing that states that Miss Afeni has ever harmed anyone. It's nothing that states it at all. Okay. So it wasn't just mom that was moving. Glow states, the aunt, she states that she was on the move too. Everybody was moving because they were constantly being targeted by the officers. Okay. So now 1984, I believe this is when mom starts dibbling dabbling with crack cocaine while they was homeless. And Tupac hobby has always been writing. So now they go back to Tupac when he was younger, and they speak on him always being a writer. He's always been a performer. He even performed at the Raising of the Sun in the theater. And that's how they knew that Pac was going to be, something very, very, very special. Um, it didn't even matter where he came from in his brain cell. It was where the hell he was going, okay? Because he wasn't going to stay there, all right? So now in 96, in Cali, they speak on acting, and he says that was his first love. He never wanted to get prescrewed that he was a rapper turned actor. No. He always wanted to be an actor. It's just simple fact of the poverty and everything that was taking place in his personal life halted him to become an actor. So now that he had the opportunity, the music helped him gain the opportunity for him to become an actor. Okay, and so um, he states that the so no, the guy who's doing Gridlock with him, he reveals that people will come, gangbangers would come and kind of like mess with him or try to, like, I don't know if they were trying to scare him or something like that, so that the guy actually had to get security. Okay, and Pac states in the documentary, this is now his Pac voice, and he's like his alter ego was built to protect him. Um, it was to protect him, but it's blown up more than what the media than what it is. He states that this is me, but they just put it on a 10 times higher ratings. This is why you cannot believe everything that you see. You cannot believe everything that you hear. You cannot believe everything that you read. You have to go. If you don't know that person, you can't believe everything. Okay, you can't believe everything. I got on a colorful ass outfit right now, right? But that doesn't mean I'm feeling colorful right now. You know what I'm saying? I might I might look bright. Okay? I might look happy. I might be thinking, I might be you might think I'm feeling a certain kind of way, but right now I'm mentally fucked up right now. Okay? So you can't believe everything that you hear, you see, you read, and da 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 da, because sometimes it's not always true. Okay? But he states that that's his alter ego was built to help him protect himself. Okay? So now they state that mom is out of control with the drug use, which does take place a lot. And now they're moving to Baltimore due to being on a run, and mom, again, losing her job. And the School of Arts, this is how he started acting when he started going to the School of Arts. The School of Arts gives him a sense, okay? And then mom says that the song Your Child Is Not Your Child actually helped her understand him as he was growing up, okay? Which moving, it does affect you. When you move a lot, it does affect you. I moved a lot of times when I was younger. We probably stayed in an apartment for 6 to 8 months, or a year. And my dad be like, "Yo, we moving again." And I'd be like, "I just got friends. Me and Vanessa and Tatiana, I just got friends. What do you mean we moving again?" And before I can even have a cool relationship with my friends, I'm going back to school the next day. Like, yeah, I'm moving again, y'all. That when you constantly move, it gives you a sense of not being able to sit still. And we wasn't moving because of the same reasons that Miss Afeni was moving. We was moving because my dad was like, "Yo, like these people, they bugging on the rent." I don't know, Jersey has always had this high rent thing, okay? And my dad used to be like, "No, I'm paying for rent, I'm paying for electricity, I'm paying for everything. And now y'all think y'all about to increase my rent again? No, y'all not about to do that. Y'all bugging." So that's why we would move, because my dad just wasn't beat to pay all this outrageous rent for a 1 bedroom or 2 bedroom. And he was paying for electricity and everything like that. But I understand the mindset of having to constantly move. It makes you unsettled. It makes you um not wanting to get too comfortable. um it triggers you. You feel alone a lot, because it's like, damn, once I get some friends, I don't know when my mother or my father going to come back and be like, "Yo, we got to move again," and now I got to say goodbye to my friends. And this is how Pac felt when he had to go to the School of Arts, and tell his teacher, the director, "Hey, I'm moving again." And he said the director states that this is where he felt a little bit of emptiness, like he was bawling his eyes out, telling him that he had to leave again, because no one wants to constantly keep on moving. At the age of 35, I 36, I hate moving. If I move, it has to be for a reason. I won't just up and just leave, even if it's like in a retarded condition. I just be like, "No, I'm gonna just suck it up," because I to this day, as we speak right now, because I moved so much when I was younger, I hate moving now. So I get it. Okay, I totally get it. How moving does damage. Yeah, it does something to you. Okay. So now we're going to rewind back to his adulthood in June 16th. You all know, is Tupac's birthday. And then, I believe that during his birthday is where they moved to Calabasas. And now the sister is stating that, yeah, this is where we at now. Like, we made it from there to now we in Calabasas, and it's all white gated community, but we here. What about it? What you gonna do? Okay, cause nigga, we made it. Okay, so now they states that his work ethic is legendary, which we all notice. This is that part right there ain't alleged. That part right there ain't hearsay. She say Tupac work is legendary. He is one of the hardest rappers. I ain't gonna say artists, because from what they said back in the day, James Brown was going crazy. Okay, but um, Pac work ethic was so freaking crazy that it was ridiculous. And then they become stating that a lot of work that he would do. Um, okay, wait, pause. So he vented a lot on his dreams. Okay, and then he meets Kadali, And Kadali, he has a real relationship. Kadali is Quincy Jones's daughter. He has a real relationship with Tupac, okay? And it stated that he would go from set to the studio, and that he also, while he was working on his relationship with Mrs. With Quincy Jones' daughter, that he also had the Outlaws, okay? So he also had to pay for not only the Outlaws, what they was trying to do, but he was also taking care of his family as well. So his stress level was on a hiatus. Okay, so they state that he's doing 5 to 7 videos in 8 hours, and then he'll turn around and he'll go to set, which means he's only getting 3 hours of sleep per day. I can't live off 3 hours a day, 3 hours of sleep per day. I'm going to go crazy off of 3 hours. Okay, so now let's get back to Suge. Suge has a loud voice. Suge is kind of low key intimidating to the women in the family. They stated that Pac is Tupac's cash cow. And you have to remember that he also wanted his own record label as well. Just saying. And then it stated that he worked to escape his pain because Pac had a lot of pain that he dealt with that certain people probably did not know. And he worked so much that that was the only way that he could release his frustration. Because if you listen to any Tupac song, um, even back early on in the when he first had started out, he talks about a lot of pain. So they also state that he could camouflage naturally. He can be a jokester, he could be a prankster, he can tap into that emotional side of you, or he could bring out that goofy side. It's all on how he want to do it. They show him wearing a Rick James wig and imitating Rick James, and he actually sounded like dang on Rick James. Okay, so because once again, his first love was acting. Okay, so now they get into um, the emptiness that he tried to fill, and the emptiness that he tried to fill is the reason why he got Thug Life tied on him, and he felt as though that this is who y'all want me to be. This is who I'm going to be. I'm going to give y'all exactly what y'all think y'all want me to become. So now they talk about the Biggie beef, and some people liked it, some people didn't. Some people thought that the outro was just a little bit too much, um, and it was rooted on in the studio. So his boys in the background like, yo, 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 go ahead, go. Guys being guys. Wish there was some females in there because the female don't like Pop, you're doing too much. Sit your butt down. You said what you said. Now let's go. Leave it alone. But guys being guys, and Mike Tyson was one of the guys that was in here ruining it on as well. Because why? Because he said so. In the doc, he said so. Okay, because you have to understand, him and Mike had a friendship as well. So this documentary is just not people that don't know what they're talking about. This documentary is based off people that was in a circle around him, people that can honestly say, "Hey, this is what really took place, and that's what really took place." Okay, so Snoop notices a change with the relationship with Pac, and the media is like staring the pot every time you turn around. The media is just whipping it. They're just stirring the pot up, okay? And now Snoop, he goes on to address the beef and how Pac looked at Snoop. Mind you, Snoop states, and he states on numerous times, this is not my words, Mr. Snoop Dogg. This is your dang on words because I heard you when you said it. He states that he has no problem with Bad Boy. He has no problem with Bad Boy at all. Snoop looked at him as, really, nigga? What do you mean you don't have no problem? If I got a problem with them, you got a problem with them too. Understand it? Snoop has just beat a Erda trial, okay? So you got problems with these, but I can't say the same thing for me because they never did the same thing for me. Well, in my camp, gang gang, in my camp, if she got a problem with you, I got a problem with her too. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't. Me personally, I could, if one of my girls felt as though this person was responsible for uh, um something that took place and they was bodily harmed, we ain't got nothing to talk about when I see you. I'm not cool with you. We ain't got nothing to talk about. I can't rock with you. I can't feel comfortable even associating myself around you because of this problem that my girl has with you, especially if that's my ace boom poem. That's just me. Well, that's not just me because that's how my girls is feels about me. If somebody physically assaults somebody that I love, I respect, that I'm with 24/7, and then you turn around and this person says, "Oh, I ain't got no problem with that person," girl. What? What? Um, okay. I might gotta look at you a little bit funny too. Cause why don't you feel the same way that I feel towards them? If I believe that these people were trying to harm me, but maybe Snoop knew that that wasn't what it was. You know what I'm saying? So let's go back to. So basically, that's what it talks about in part four. Okay, we talk about when he gets out of jail and how he's going to make a change, but then he signs the death row, and Suge Knight throws a wrench and the positive side and brings out the negative side. And then his other two family members is being looked at as a murderer. And then we go through all the ups and downs that Mama had to go through and what and her drugs that she had to endure, the pain that she went through as well. And then we go to trying to understand why Snoop and Pop ain't seeing eye to eye as far as long with this Biggie beef. Okay, so now let's go back to Suge real quick, because they say that he was a cash cow, okay? And it took Snoop stated, if I'm not mistaken, that I don't know if it was Snoop that stated it or someone speaking for Snoop that stated that it took a lot for Snoop to get out of that Death Row contract. It also took Dre a lot to get out of that Death Row contract. So was Suge trying to keep them like hostage, like you making money but you ain't going nowhere type of thing? Because now Pac is 25 and Pac has given him back the money that the uncle, I believe, somebody in the family states that Suge did not bail him out. I didn't say it. This is what the documentary is saying. He did not. He did not put his money up to bail him out. Interscope did that. Okay. So did Snoop? Did Snoop? Snoop, get out of here. Did Suge? Um, like I understood what Snoop purpose was to bring Pac in because he seen that he was raw, he was uncut, he was like that, he was lit. Okay, so I understood why Snoop wanted him to be a part of their team. But what was Suge's real purpose of it? Like, why did he treat him as a brother figure? Like, did they have like a cool, close relationship, or was it like a alleged Pac and alleged Puffy and Biggie thing? Like, was they really cool like that in real life, or was it just a show? Or did he like? But he's never stated like I didn't know that Suge bought Pac's mom a house when Pac was locked up. I didn't know that. I didn't know that he saw him how to swim and things like that. So it's like, but then why would the women feel intimidated? Like, I'm not saying Glow felt intimidated, but she just felt like kind of about him. And that's not even state just because he bought Miss Afeni things, it doesn't mean that she was kind of intimidated by him neither. I don't know what y'all think. I don't know. I don't know. It's just I don't know. I just don't know. I'm not sure how to look at that scenario right there. Because like, people do things out of love. You got two kind of people. You got people that do things out of love, and you got another people that do things just because they just want to do it. Like, or not just because they want to do it, because that's not love. But you got people that just do things just because, and you got people that do things because of. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna, I'm doing this video because I want to give y'all the review of the Tupac documentary, right? Or do I want to do this video to get my click up? Which one is it? It's always somebody trying to do something for something. I mean, it could have been both. I'm gonna make money off of him and I'm gonna put him on. I'm gonna make money off him and make sure that he good. But if he try to get out this contract, I'm gonna off him. Like, because you know that they said allegedly that he was behind the master hit as well. But then it goes to say that I don't like saying his name, but um H to the Izzo was a part of it too, allegedly. So you got three different people that's alleged, um, allegedly behind the hit of Pac. So it's like, sure, what would you have to gain? But what didn't you not have to gain? You know that your main artist was leaving. So, but I don't feel like it was a setup for on Pac's part. Biggie part, yes, I believe that that was a setup. Yeah, I believe, yeah, that just never made sense to me. When I was a younger girl and they spoke about it and we found out that Big had passed away, was in elementary school, and I just didn't understand it. I didn't believe it. I thought it was. It just didn't feel. I didn't understand. I didn't understand it. When Pop got murdered, I felt it. I understood it, and it made no. I in my brain I understood it, and it hurt it. Like I lost a friend. I cried. I cried a lot. So when Pac had passed away or whatever, I cried. I did. I cried like a little bitch. Okay. I cried for about 3 hours until my father told me to stop crying. And little did I know at that time that would not be the only celebrity that I cried over. Because when Aaliyah passed away, baby girl, rest in peace. When Sis passed away, I cried. And then when Whitney passed away, I cried too. Yeah, I'm a little emotional to certain people that I like. Okay. So goes back to me saying I'm not sure what took place, who set who up, who did what to who. But I don't know who intentions is what. But Dear Mama is coming to an end, and next Saturday, well, this Saturday, as a matter of fact, we'll be on the fifth episode, and it had to be the final episode unless they decide they want to do something else. But it's getting kind of interesting. It's getting kind of deep because now I think they're going to start talking about what took place at Las Vegas. All right, so I hope you guys like the video. Like, comment, subscribe, share. And if you ain't up on it, go on and get up on it. It's on Hulu. You only got one more episode. And after that, Dear Mama, I guess it's just going to be a rerun because that's it. It's only going to be just this one right here. Unless, like I said, they decide otherwise. As y'all notice, I'm in a different fit because baby boy came home from school yesterday, and when Shouty came home from school, that's just what it was. Okay, so I hope y'all had a good day. I hope y'all have a good weekend because the weekend is coming up, and enjoy the rest of your day. Stay prayed up and be blessed. And I will see y'all when I see y'all. Peace out.